A criminally insane killer on the loose at the Spokane Interstate Fair.
His frightening history and how many times he's escaped before.
Plus the question on everyone's minds, why was he allowed out in the first place?
A criminally insane killer in custody at Eastern State Hospital escaped today when the hospital took him on a field trip to the Spokane County Interstate Fair.
It's a story almost too outrageous to be true. 47-year-old Phillip Paul was found criminally insane after killing an elderly woman in 1987. He says the voices in his head told him she was a witch. Today, for reasons still unknown, Eastern State Hospital took him and others on a field trip to the fairgrounds. KXLY4 in-depth coverage now with our Annie Bishop, Melissa Luck, and McKay Allen. We're going to start with McKay. How in the world did this happen, McKay?
Well, that's the question everybody's asking, and we don't know very many details about how exactly this guy escaped. We know he was here with a small group, about 10 or 15 other inmates from Eastern State Hospital. There was one guard for every 3 inmates, and he escaped from the northeast side of the fairgrounds. He apparently just ran off from his group. That's where the animals are kept. Now, that happened at about 11 o'clock this morning. The thing that concerns the sheriff's department, the thing that concerns the sheriff himself, is he says, why weren't we told about this? In fact, no law enforcement official was notified until after 1 o'clock p.m. that this killer had escaped. 2 full hours this guy had a head start because no one let them know he was there. The fair's also upset. They say they didn't even know someone like this was coming to their fair. Tonight, both the sheriff and the fair themselves are asking serious questions of Eastern State Hospital.
That's the next question we'll be asking is why we weren't notified as soon as he left the group. If he had been notified, we may have had better success in locating him. A 2-hour delay gave him just that, 2 hours to leave the area and possibly leave Spokane.
I just don't understand how all this could have happened. I'm just bewildered by the whole situation, and I would hope that when I put in a phone call to them that they'll be able to give me some answers as to what their rationale was for this.
Now, we should point out the fair at this hour is safe. Law enforcement officials say they have a very good source who's telling them this man left the fairgrounds, that he may be in fact heading to Sunnyside, Washington, where he has family. His mother and father live there. Apparently he communicates with them on a very regular basis, perhaps daily. So they do believe he's on his way there. They don't know if he's still in Spokane. They don't know if he's even still in the county. He could be halfway there now for all they know. Again, this started 11 o'clock this morning. He had a 2.5 hour head start on the sheriff. And again, the thing that concerns the fair is they were never even notified someone like this was going to be at the fair. They say that that's not legally required, but it is standard operating procedure when groups like this come to the fair. And the sheriff, as we said, and the fair have serious questions of Eastern State Hospital. But at this time, the fair is safe, but this guy may be somewhere in Spokane County. Back to you guys.
Okay, thank you. In-depth coverage continues tonight with Melissa Luck here in the newsroom. Melissa, this isn't the first time Mr. Paul has been allowed out of Eastern State Hospital.
No, Dave, he's actually been given quite a few privileges over the years, including being allowed to attend Spokane Community College during the day and return to Eastern State Hospital at night back in the 90s. But Phillip Paul has also left Eastern State Hospital without permission before. Paul has never served time in a state prison despite admitting to the murder of 78-year-old Ruth Motley in Granger, Washington in 1987. He was found not guilty by reason of insanity and sent to Eastern State. Doctors, though, have said his schizophrenia is in remission, and that's why he was let out of the hospital on occasion. But he's also escaped at times, including back in 1990 when he ended up in a farmer's field and assaulted a sheriff's deputy when he tried to take him into custody. We tried to get more information tonight about the current state of Phillip Paul's mental health, but he's not an inmate, he's a patient. So federal privacy laws prevent DSHS from giving us any information about his mental health. The sheriff's office says that he is on his meds, at least at the last time that they knew, and they say he has not been violent for some time. Robin?
Melissa, thanks. Well, just a few minutes ago, the State Department of Social and Health Services ordered an immediate incident review to figure out exactly what happened in this case. Susan Dreyfus has also ordered an immediate lockdown on all outings involving mental hospital patients who come through the criminal justice system. Secretary Dreyfus is in Spokane tonight. We're going to try and talk with her in the next hour. In-depth coverage continues tonight with KXLY4's Annie Bishop at the fairgrounds. And Annie, a lot of people didn't even know what was going on.
In fact, we're the ones that told them something was going on around 3 o'clock, at least 3 hours that we know of since Phillip Paul escaped. Many fairgoers were surprised and very upset, but no one told them a criminally insane killer was on the loose while they enjoyed the fair with their families today. Had they known, many say they would have left right away. The Sheriff's Department says it didn't evacuate folks because it didn't believe Phillip Paul presented an immediate danger. The reasoning, he was not armed, and they believe his ultimate goal was to leave the fair and not hang out here on the fairground property. Even so, some say a heads up would have been nice.
Yeah, it's pretty scary, especially having a 3-year-old son and a wife, with me. So yeah, that's pretty scary knowing that he's out and about.
They should have shut it down or offered refunds to people that knew that they knew that this was happening, and they shouldn't make us stay.
I hope to catch this guy quick because we're going to spend the day here.
It would have been nice for somebody to tell us that there's a killer on the loose at the fair. Nobody said anything. Everybody's walking around like nothing ever happened.
And I spoke with several vendors this afternoon, and many want folks at home to know that they are still open for the fair. Many of the rides still open, food booths and games. The fair will be open until 10:30 tonight. Reporting live, Annie Bishop, KXLY4 HD News.